Welcome back, everyone, to the 24th episode of Podcast Demastered. I'm your host for today, Chelsea, and I'm joined by Ethan and Wade. And today we are continuing our talk about our all things Harry Potter. And before we begin, have you ever guys wished that, Hogwarts is real and you were a student, back when you were reading the books and everything the first time?
And how many people didn't think that?
I know, right?
Who else is 31 years old and wishes they still had gotten the letter to Hogwarts? This guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my biggest concern is that Hogwarts is real and I didn't get a letter. That would just make it even worse.
Well, we're also Americans, so we can count that maybe the American school messed it up.
Yeah, is there
Sounds about
an
right.
American school like Ivor money or something? Liver money?
It's something like that, yeah.
Ivermony, yeah.
Yeah.
You're really close.
But Hogwarts would have been cooler, for sure.
That's where all the action is.
Mm-hmm.
That's all the main characters are.
Maybe that's not a good reason to want to go there.
Oh. I mean, who knows? Depends on who you are. I mean, you're Cedric Diggory, no, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah, he didn't get a full education.
No,
But
I don't think most students got the full education. They kind of got cut off their last year. Well, for this episode, we're going to pretend, we're going back through some magical, maybe some multiverse stuff and going to a time where, Harry Potter is real. He's about to start his first year. And guess what? We are too. And
boy.
we also are magically British now. So...
Should we all have accents for this show?
Oh gosh. It might be
Hello,
insulting.
what's all this? There you go. That's as much as you get.
Yeah,
Yes.
very Cockney.
Perfect.
My Cockney is awful. I don't know why I did that.
You're just
So
surprised about everything. What's all this then?
I mean, replace Ron for me, and there you go. Nobody realized the difference. It's fine.
Oh man. Okay, so we all just got our letter from Hogwarts saying we had been accepted. This is a very exciting time for us. Now, did you know you were a wizard before this? Were you perhaps born in a pure-blood family? Are you half-blood? Or are you actually Muggle-born? What would you say?
I am pretty certain I would be Muggle-born. Yeah.
Very nice.
Pretty certain. I can feel it.
Yeah, I mean, my heart wants to say pure. But realistically, I would probably be Muggle-born.
Nice.
You don't feel you don't think your parents had like a secret they kept from you your whole life? You don't think they're capable of that?
I feel like it's just internal ambitions.
I'm very surprised by your choice. I was actually going to go with half-blood, that my mom's family is a bunch of wizards and my dad is Muggle-born. So, and a Muggle. So it'd be, I kind of have a little tease into that, but, there'd been a lot of darkness and everything with Voldemort's first right to power. They didn't talk about the wizardry, as much. So it was kind of a bit of a surprise when I got my letter, but...
I feel like my parents would be oblivious to most things like that, so... Muggle or otherwise.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Nice. So, we got our letter. We have to get our supplies. But before we get our supplies, you guys should check out your boxes that you received from this unique wizard named Chelsea Vander, who is a wand maker in the United States and is trying out these new things called loot crates, trying to get those to catch on in the wizarding world before they catch on with the muggles. So the one thing you'll need to grab is your wand. Everybody should have received a wand.
Oh boy.
Yep. Specially made.
Is it edible?
No, no, it's not edible. Everybody has their custom-made wand,
Sure do.
which there actually should be the correct size. We all did the Pottermore quizzes before we did this episode, so we can all share what type of wand we have.
Oh, wow. Correct size and everything, huh?
Yeah. Maybe not the color, but the color, you know.
Actually, mine looks pretty, I got Pottermore pulled up right now, so I don't know. Looks pretty identical. Hazelwood.
Oh, sweet.
Hazelwood with a unicorn hair core. 12 and a quarter inch. And it's reasonably supple.
Very nice.
Let's see. I was gifted with a English oak wood with a unicorn hair core, 11 inches, and quite bendy flexibility, although I'm not going to test that out right now. I might be very sad.
Yeah, it's true. And then I have a rowan wood with a dragon heartstring core, 12.5 inches, reasonably flexible. So, woohoo! We all got our Chelsea Vander wands, specially made for us.
Love it.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess with COVID, we can't really go to Diagon Alley, so they're just mailing this stuff out now.
I'll order wands.
Yep. Also, because it's from the U.S. and they decide, oh, we're gonna send it, by postal service, but not even by owls.
You're like Amazon owls.
Yeah.
The drivers just dress as owls.
He's just in a giant owl suit.
Yeah.
Here's
That
your
seems
stick.
accurate. Okay, well now since we got the first thing from our special Loot Crate boxes, we got our wands, well now we need to get the rest of our stuff from Diagon Alley. I think one of the most important things that we can get from Diagon Alley would be a pet, if we choose to have one. Would you guys want to have pets at Hogwarts?
Definitely.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep, definitely agree. What kind of pet would you guys have?
I would have a cat.
I'd probably have an owl.
What would you name your pets?
I'm gonna go with Lieutenant Who.
Lieutenant Who?
That is his name. It's a
Love it.
proper American name.
I'm just gonna go with my cat name that I already have, which is Spock. So I'll just take Spock with me.
Very nice.
Everybody at Hogwarts would be like, "Who? What's a Spock?"
What's a Spock?
Yes, they
that's an
would.
American thing.
Oh, so true. Yeah, I would
He's an
definitely
American
have an owl.
astronaut.
Not quite wrong there. They'd probably be like, "What's an astronaut?" Let's be real.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I'd also have an owl too. I would specifically have a barred owl. I think barred owls are pretty cool, and it would be a female named Harriet.
Nice.
Nice. I just figure the place
Is Harriet and Lieutenant Who gonna be?
Yeah, Lieutenant Who and
Are they
Harriet.
gonna be friends?
Depends on if you
Yes.
Well, never mind.
What are you saying about very friends? I think it depends. Well, actually, we already got our supplies. I think it's time to get on the Hogwarts Express. So you might want to check. When you're on the Hogwarts Express, you might get a little hungry. There might be something in the box that might help with that. Special things you get on the trolley.
There's food in here?
Yeah.
There's so much tissue paper.
I know.
Are
it had to
these
be
chocolate frogs?
Yes, they are.
Oh my gosh!
All provided by Chelsea Vander.
Oh. Sorry, listeners. You
was,
have to listen to me eat this.
Yeah.
Chelsea
Yeah,
Vander
they're
is a
chocolate frogs.
chocolatier in her downtime.
Yep, they're milk and dark chocolate.
So this is very much a
my
Monopoly
gosh.
you're running, making wands, making all.
Yep.
A one stop.
know,
She's
trying
like
to
the
put-
wall.
yeah.
She's like the Walmart for wizards.
Yeah, it's very American of you.
You know, really
Who
trying
needs
to
12
appeal
different
to
shops
everybody,
when you have Walmart?
We can eat
Okay,
these, right? We were
sometimes.
supposed to eat these. It's not just
Oh
for
yeah,
show.
no, yeah. You know, no, definitely eat them because you know it's a long ride on the Hogwarts Express. So enjoy your hopefully good chocolate.
That was good.
Nice. Okay. Would you say we probably have, you know, you guys have been enjoying your snacks? Oh, we've arrived at Hogwarts. We get to take the boats to look at the castle. How exciting. Now the next important thing, we get sorted into our houses.
Oh boy.
So,
British segregation.
they're calling out names one by one. Wait a minute. Whose name is that they call? They call Harry Potter? Wait, Harry Potter is in our year? Do you guys know anything about Harry Potter?
Who the
I've
hell's
heard a
Harry
little
Potter?
bit about him.
We're Muggleborn. We're like, huh? What?
Yeah.
Some British nerd from the looks of it.
Oh my gosh, he's here. He has a scar. Ah. Yeah. I don't know. So, you know, some people are freaking out. Some people are exactly like you guys. Like, what?
Yeah.
Who is that?
Wade and I are playing on our Switch.
I think Professor McGonagall might beat us for that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is why we don't allow colonials in this school.
Damn traitors.
Well, we're now British somehow, so. Okay, so the first person that gets called up to the sorting hat is Wade. You're sorted into.
Hufflepuff.
Dun, dun, dun.
For sure.
So we have a Hufflepuff. And now.
Inside
Ethan.
and out. Oh, yeah.
Ethan steps up and puts the hat on.
The hat doesn't even have to touch my head. It just yells out Slytherin.
Slytherin! Just like that.
I don't even get up to the stage. It just yells at me.
Gosh.
Just gives you a hard
You're
look and it's
Worse
like,
than
sit down.
Malfoy.
You're Slytherin. Go sit down. Sorry, Mr. Hat.
Man. There might be something in your box for that, too.
Sorry to waste your time.
Chelsea Vander thought ahead, you know, could totally tell, you know, that you were very much a Slytherin, indeed.
Yeah, it's the blonde hair, blue eyes gave it away.
You're somehow Muggle-born, so gosh. And then Chelsea,
I'm
step up to the hat.
American
Gosh,
bastard.
no. And then I step up to the hat, and I am in Ravenclaw. It's actually pretty funny that we're all in different houses. And
There are no Gryffindors here.
Oh, yeah,
Nope.
I forgot you were Ravenclaw. That's right.
yes, I am. Oh, you know, all the other houses can be cooler than Gryffindor, so.
I mean, for sure, mine. Green's a way better color, anyways.
What does
Blue is
Slytherin
pretty
sing
cool,
to
too.
say?
Oh, man.
Tie this right now.
Okay. Well, we did the fun parts, you know. We got our supplies, got our wands, got our, you know, chocolate, and sorted into our houses. But, you know, this is school. We have to go to class. You know, how good of students would you guys be? Would you enjoy all these classes? And I mean, especially since you guys are Muggle-born. This is like a whole new thing. You're not learning your basic, you know, English and, you know, history. Well, some other types of history, just not the history we're used to. No math.
I'll be honest with you. I'd be as close to Hermione as you can get, probably. that was not so like know-it-all-y, but that was me when I was going through school. I was always like, class time, let's do it, yeah.
I totally am with you. I mean, I'm a
And then there's
Ravenclaw. I'm
Ethan.
really into that. Yeah. Yeah. What are you going to be doing? Causing trouble?
Yeah, I was a total shithead in school. Not like I wasn't a bad kid, I just didn't apply myself. I was always talking, always disrupting class, always being a smartass to the teacher. You know, typical Slytherin stuff. You know.
That'll work so well with McGonagall.
Yeah.
Well, now you can get your lip sealed shut, so there's
Yeah, I would have
that.
been turned into like a fish or some shit by like before the first period was over.
So, do I even dare ask, would you think you even have a favorite class, Ethan, at Hogwarts?
Oh. So as a first year, probably either potions or defense against the dark arts. For sure.
With Quirrell.
Oh yeah, I forgot Quirrell's name. Well, whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really know how good of a teacher he was. We can pretend I don't know.
But yeah, the other classes.
Did we ever really see him in class? Like in the books?
Oh my gosh, I don't.
Because you get
Not
lots of
really
time when
do.
Harry's sitting through like any of his classes, but I don't think there's ever a scene where he's like in Quirrell's class.
There's just that one where Wood pulls him out to teach him Quidditch, because apparently it's more important than defense against the dark arts. That's it. It's like
Yeah.
I think that's the only time, because like Quirrell's standing there with like an iguana around his neck.
Well, I think that was Wood that got pulled out.
Oh yeah,
of-
Wood got pulled out because Harry
Yeah,
caught
because
a
Harry had just was doing his
remember or
broom
whatever.
lesson.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah,
What
that's the
about
only
you,
time we
Wade?
see
Would
Quirrell.
you like any of the classes or all of them? Because
I'd probably
Yeah,
like
that was
everything to
awesome.
some degree, but I think Charms would probably be my favorite.
I can agree with you that I think Charms would be really cool. I'm probably like the weird person who would really enjoy history and magic. I do really like history, and it's like a whole separate history than what, I would have previously learned. Because I feel like, if I was, because I was saying like, I was half, so my family didn't talk about the magic, and so I'd go into regular like public school, learning boring history.
It being like
Nothing magical.
completely new everything.
Boring history.
It'd be definitely easier to stay involved in it. But Goblin Revolutions only get so exciting.
I feel like magical history is probably just as subjectively boring as regular history, just with more flourishes. So
It's definitely how they made it seem. But when Professor
Yeah.
Ben's is your teacher, though,
Yeah, that's the only rough part. Oh, Professor Ben's. I think potions would also be pretty cool, but I would also think I'd have a hard time with, Snape being the professor. I think it'd be one of those classes because I'd want to be really good at all my classes, and it'd be such a challenge. Because I feel like you would always be, like, bound to fail that class.
right? You'd always be worried, like, I'm gonna mess this one thing up, and that's it. And he's
Yep.
gonna hate me. And everybody knows once the teacher hates you, it's done. You're done.
So we've been at Hogwarts for a little while in our first year, so by this time I think we all know a bit more about Harry Potter and about who he is and everything. And, so he's kind of like the popular kid, but maybe not quite, as some typical popular kids. Would you ever try to befriend Harry Potter at any point during your school time with him?
no.
Would you even care?
No.
It depends. If we had classes together, like, I'd probably at least try to say hi. But, like, not being in the same house, and especially, like, as younger students, having very limited opportunities to, like, get to know the other houses, like, the kids in the other houses. The first couple of years, probably, I wouldn't have a very, solid relationship with him, I imagine.
Yeah.
I would only
that
know
makes
him by
sense.
reputation, which would be highly annoying.
Oh, yeah.
And then if I ever saw him in class, he would just come across as like a dumb kid. So, I feel like there's really
He's
no
in the
reason
same
I would
place
ever
you
reach out.
are, Muggleborn. Or, kind of almost like that Muggleborn-esque, not knowing anything about Wizarding World. Yeah, I think I'd be like casual acquaintances with him or something, just for like, hey, I know you, you know me.
So we know,
You
like,
know.
Ethan would also have the entirety of the Slytherin kids, like, talking hatefully about Harry in the common room, or just whenever they passed him and stuff. So he'd have that, like,
Oh, I wouldn't be a
taught behavior kind of.
Are you gonna be
I-
friends with Draco?
No, I would see Draco as a bully, which would also be annoying. See, in school, I was mostly a ghost.
A ghost.
Are you going to befriend the ghosts?
Maybe. They've seen a
They
lot
would
of
be pretty
shit.
interesting.
The Bloody Baron? I don't know about that.
Oh dang.
I'm always after a good story. I could rather hang out with ghosts than a bunch of first years.
It's your first year.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but I'm an old soul.
Oh. Okay.
11 years old.
Wary of the world. Of this brand new world you've been introduced to.
Yeah, imagine all the existential crises I'd be having at that point, realizing there's a whole nother world out there. And now,
Man, this is Harry Potter. You get over that shit quick.
yeah,
We got magic to do.
we got magic to do.
We got time for that crap in these books. That's for book
Yep.
5.
Yeah, I think once I got to school and realized that this is the curriculum, is just like learning magic and all that stuff, I think I would definitely apply myself, because it's all just, the more you know, the more power and everything you can wield. It's kind of
That ambition.
you know,
Yeah. Well, maybe this will be a little bit more up your alley, maybe, Ethan. What about Quidditch? So, we're just going to say, like, you can't play Quidditch right now. All you can do is watch, except, of course, Harry Potter's also a first year, and look at that. He made the team, and he's a seeker.
special treatment.
Not
Hate him
bitter
even
feeling
more.
at all, yeah. Would
I
you go
watch
to the
Quidditch
games
for
at all?
sure.
Okay, yeah.
Hell yeah. I love sport. I would never play it. I would watch it.
Yeah, I'd be a pretty passive bystander on that too. Like I'd go and I'd get pumped and watch, and if Gryffindor was playing and Hufflepuff wasn't, I'd probably cheer for Gryffindor. But it'd just be a thing.
Yeah. I think it'd be
But
pretty
I would
exciting
not
to
play.
watch it for a while. I don't know. I would definitely want to try out for the
You
team.
would try out? What
Yeah.
position would you play?
I want to play beater. I'll try out my second year. I don't know why you're laughing. I think it's the best position to play because,
You get
get
to
to hit
assault people.
well, when you put it that way, goodness.
I mean,
It also
those
has, like,
balls
the-
are like
it-
rib busting. I mean, oh my god.
It
I feel
also
so
has,
bad.
Like, the least stakes attached to it. Because you're not trying to score, and you're not trying to not be scored on, and you're not trying to win the match by catching a snit. You're literally just hitting shit at other kids.
Yeah, but you can also, have something to defend yourself, too. So, I
You're
think
like
it's
the equivalent
practical.
of,
It's
like-
necessary.
You're like the enforcer on the hockey team. You're just out there to hit people, disrupt the game. So,
It sounds kind of fun.
in
Make it
terms of
chaotic.
position, I guess, yeah, that would be... I'd rather be slinging the bludgeons than just trying to run from them.
Yep, so. I'll try out our second year, so we'll see how that goes if I make the team.
What are all the other...
Wish you luck.
What are the other extracurriculars? Isn't there, like, choir? There's, like, a choir thing, isn't there? Where they're all singing with...
In the movies, there's choir.
In the
yeah.
movies, yeah.
Yeah, see? What are the other are there any other extracurriculars besides Quidditch?
I mean, there's
Well, I
there's
don't-
different like clubs and stuff, but they don't really go into grand depth about them.
I bet there's a wizard chess club, if there was one. Seems like a thing.
Probably. Ron was just too
That'd be
lazy
fun,
to be
too.
in it.
He was probably too oblivious that it even existed.
Well, that too, possibly.
Just
'Cause we know there's like a gobstones one, like marbles.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, we don't get to hear much about what else is out there because it's all just what Harry's doing in the
it's all
book.
just
So
focused
Right.
on that kid.
I mean, I'm sure we'd all be in some kind of extracurricular if we could find one.
Maybe not.
Wow.
I never did extracurriculars in school.
What did you live at school?
No. Even then.
Yeah. If you lived at school, things might be a little different. Maybe. We'll see.
I was in a couple clubs. I started my own clubs in high school too.
Did you?
Yeah.
Started your own club?
Yeah, I started a film club.
Oh.
Like trying to make like little movies and stuff. But no, I was in student council all 4 years in high school. I was on the exec committee for at least 2 of those years, and National Honor Society, all that stuff. I mean, I'm a Ravenclaw, so.
I joined FBLA so I can go to a Cardinals game and then quit when we got back.
Slytherin.
And I tried starting a film club in college, but that didn't last.
Well,
So
you
yeah, maybe
still
if
did
there was like a
something.
magical film club, we could make magic movies.
I mean, that'd be really cool. Maybe you'll start that. There's nothing that says that doesn't exist, so therefore.
It'd be easier to set up all the gear if you can just wave your wand and move everything around.
But then your magic would break all the stuff.
Well, Ron's not in the club.
No, I mean like magic like shorts the electricity out.
Well, we'd have to do real old school, like pinhole cameras.
Yeah. Well, that's like when Colin brings his like film, like regular like camera, and wants to like bewitch his pictures and stuff. Yeah, go old school with some film.
There you go. You know what's interesting? Since pictures move, like, could you like learn a script and do like short scenes and stuff in pictures? Find a way to make them talk too.
Oh, I bet you could. That's a whole like art form. I mean, art class. There you go. There's another club.
Interesting.
Cool.
I'm sure Professor Flitwick can help us with that.
Yes. Well, I feel like that's a lot of the highlights from our first year. Now it's the end of the year. And it looks like, at this point, looks like Slytherin's won the House Cup. JK. Harry and his friends all got those extra points. Wow, look at that. They won. That's suspicious.
Yeah, they got extra points for assaulting a teacher, apparently. I don't know. This kid's a piece of shit.
Oh, yeah. So, woohoo. We made it through our first year at Hogwarts. Now on to our second year.
What?
Oh, look at that. We
The
got a new
fun
defensive...
year.
Oh, gosh. Is it fun? We're sure to find out. Oh, we got a new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. Professor
Did you hear?
Lockhart.
It's Gilderoy Lockhart.
Oh my gosh. I don't care. Like I would not be able to.
But he's a
stand him as teacher.
Ravenclaw.
I could not.
Yeah, I couldn't stand him. He is what I
that doesn't
envisioned
mean
Harry
anything.
is as an adult.
Ooh.
But surprisingly, that's
That's rough.
not what Harry is to me. I mean, what I've seen of him, Harry is not Lockhart, and thank goodness, because I would hate Harry so much. But
No way. That was like the whole
I
difference.
know.
That's why Harry didn't like Lockhart. Because he lied and cheated and made himself look bigger without doing anything himself.
I mean, yeah, he's so arrogant. We had to buy all of his books for his class. How are these practical? That would be the worst class.
You know those books are expensive too.
Oh my gosh, yes. They probably only came in, hardback with like a leather, or some leather bound, something crappy. Nope. Well,
So I'm
there
guessing
goes all
none of
my
none of us stayed there to get them all autographed, I'm guessing.
Nope. I was out of there when I saw that crowd. I'm like, nope. We're gonna go get some ice cream or something. Okay. So that's going on in year 2. I think the other thing is, okay, well, I guess I'm the only one trying out for the Quidditch team. So
Indeed.
we'll just say I made the team. Why not? Unless you guys disagree.
Nope, go for it.
I feel like
Okay,
Gryffindor
yay.
wins
Hey, you'd
every
probably
time
be friends
anyways,
with
so.
you'd probably be friends with Cho Chang.
Yes, I would, because she would be the seeker at this time. So
Yep, there you go.
Cool. So yeah, now I know Cho. Cool. Got a little, I got some more friends now. I mean, I probably had a couple friends, to be honest, the first year, but, now I have to be part of a team, so that's cool. So I have that going for me, and then, oh, look at that, my favorite teacher, Lockhart, he wants to set up a dueling club. Do we dare attend?
It could be fun.
Yeah, might learn something. Maybe not from him, but...
We go there and
I have
watch
to
Harry
go.
and Draco be pitted against each other.
Yeah. Well, watch Snape take care of Lockhart.
Best part of the evening.
Yeah, definitely. But then there's a snake, and oh, it's all about Harry Potter again. Now he's talking to snakes.
Now he's stealing our thing.
Well, yeah, now the Chamber of Secrets is open. What's up with that? We're all gonna die.
I feel like year 2 would be the worst for me because this is all
Oh.
about like people's heritage and background. And
Oh, right.
Once the Slytherin find out that I'm
Yeah.
Muggle-born,
Ethan, are you going to tell
Yeah.
people that you're Muggle-born?
I mean, no. But I feel like if they found out,
I'd be more worried about, like, how would you know not to,
Yeah, exactly.
right?
Yeah, it would
And then
be
if
very
they and if
scary
they
for it.
and if they found out that if you just told them, not knowing, like, what would happen? What would happen to a Muggle-born Slytherin student who's like open about being Muggle-born?
See, I don't think I would be open about it because I'm not open about anything. I don't even think I'd have friends yet. I'd still be hanging out with ghosts. The ghosts would know. So if they talked, they don't have anything to lose. So
Well, some of them did. Nearly Headless Nick became petrified.
yeah, well, he was friends with Gryffindor. Fuck him. I'd be
Thought
hanging
you
out.
liked the ghost.
I'd be hanging out with Bloody Baron all the time. Dude seems like he has a good
I think
time.
I think you'd be jealous you missed the
Yikes.
Death Day party, though. If you liked, if you kind of appreciated Nearly Headless Nick, you would have been invited to his birthday. Or his Death Day party. That would have been wild.
Ghost birthday party. Or death day party.
Yeah, Death Day, yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh.
feel like year 2 would be rough.
It would suck, yeah.
A lot
And
of
then you just
anxiety
worry
in
about
that
this-
one.
Yeah.
But hey, our finals get canceled.
Yeah, but almost the school almost completely shuts down.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, that'd be a traumatic year. It'd be like, okay, thought Hogwarts was all, kind of fun. And, but to be real though, a lot of these things, like all these classes, you're like kind of risking your life. Every single time you practice a spell, make a potion.
Oh, you get listening skills down real good.
So true. Okay, well, we made it. We didn't die, because luckily nobody died when the Chamber of Secrets is open, so yay. They made it through year 2. Now into year 3. Oh, look at that. More craziness. Now Sirius Black is loose. And now we're going to have Dementors guarding Hogwarts. Cool, cool.
How do you think you all would handle that?
I don't know if I'm like, honestly, when I was younger, I didn't really like pay attention, like that much attention to the news and stuff. So it'd be kind of, like, oh, I'm hearing about it, as kids are talking about it, being like, oh, who's Sirius Black? What's going on? But, so I'd kind of like, okay, but why is he going to come to attack us?
Yeah, I feel like most
I
of
guess
the
until you
stuff
find-
would be... the context wouldn't be there because it's all directed at Harry, who I don't give a shit about.
Yeah. But the
So-
Dementors, on the other hand.
I'd probably just be livid all the time knowing that there's these basically floating demons, around the school just because this kid's being hunted by some escaped convict. I'd probably just be wishing every day that Sirius would just kill Harry so these things would leave.
You want to wishing that they're trying to capture Sirius so that the Dementors leave, you just want Harry to die?
I feel like one of them's gonna happen. I don't care which. I just want my school to go back to normal. It's messing up my day.
Step it up and let's get it done.
Yeah, exactly. Either find the
Oh
guy
my
or
goodness.
give him the kid. Jesus Christ, let's get it over with.
Well, this year might also be a little challenging for you, Ethan, because we also have to pick additional classes, to add to our workload.
Mm-hmm.
And, we can't be Hermione in this situation, so we can't pick all the 5 options. But we have to pick at least 2 of them. So, the classes are Ancient Runes, Arithmancy, Care of Magical Creatures, Divination, and Muggle Studies.
Well,
What
I've
would
already
you guys
had plenty of Muggle studies, so I don't need any of that. I would do Ancient Runes and Divination.
I think I do Ancient Runes and Care of Magical Creatures.
I'm with you guys on Ancient Runes. I would do Muggle Studies, honestly, because I'd be curious, like, the wizard's perspective on, things
Well,
that
that's
I've
why
already
Hermione took it,
experienced.
right?
Yeah.
She just wanted
But if
to
I wanted
see
to go-
that from the other side.
Mm-hmm. Then I would, like, try to correct them, too, because I think it'd be funny.
Yeah, I feel
But,
like anytime a culture tries to put historical context on another culture, it's usually wrong.
Yeah. Very true. But if I wanted to be, a little extra there and, put on, like, an extra workload, I might take a 3rd class, but I would consider Care of Magical Creatures. Because I feel like it'd be helpful to know those creatures when you come across them and stuff and not die, but having Hagrid as a teacher, though...
I don't think you'd be very excited about it.
No. I think Hagrid would be a good person, but just having so much of him, and then, caring for these creatures. I feel like you're gonna die every class, which then,
Yeah, it's not always a walk in the park, that's for sure.
No. But hey, what about that new Defense Against the Dark Arts professor, Lupin? I think we're gonna actually learn something in that class.
Dude's always missing class. He's sketch. I don't know what his deal is. It's like probably a drug addict.
Maybe we
Wizard
actually
drugs.
like use magic in class. Oh gosh.
I mean, think about it. Dude's always coming in, skips a week, comes back. He's all like tore up, sweaty. He's into something. Into some hard stuff.
But
He's a really good
True.
teacher, though, He knows his stuff and he cares about his students.
yeah.
Hey, I'm
He's
not
nice.
judging. Just saying. Just
We're
curious.
actually using magic in class. Like, that's amazing for once, instead of just, hearing Lockhart talk all about himself and useless things and whatever Quirrell taught us. I don't remember.
I feel like I would have skipped Lockhart's class. I feel like he wouldn't figure it out.
No, he would just be like,
I would just
"And
call
what's
his
my name
bluff.
again?" No.
Yeah, I would just call his bluff that he actually knows that I'm not there and just never go. Just never go to his class. But yeah,
Well, since it's our third year, you know what the highlight of our year would be. At least I know what the highlight for me would be.
Ooh, I know.
Yes, wait.
Going to Hogsmeade.
Yes,
Yes.
yeah, that would be cool.
Got it.
definitely. I would.
I
Definitely
would
have
live
that.
for those visits.
Mm-hmm. Where would you love to go first when you got to Hogsmeade, or where would you want to go all the time?
To the pub every time. 3 broomsticks.
Yeah.
Gotta get butterbeer every
Heck
single
yes.
time.
Yeah, I'll
Stop
just take
one
it
in.
from home.
First stop, last stop. Boom.
I'd probably try and get it. What's the adult pub? I would try and get into that one.
Oh,
You mean like
Hogshead.
like
Hogshead,
the
Is that right?
That's not the
Yeah.
adult pub. That's like the not good person pub.
Yeah, I would probably just go to
The
Hogshead.
Janky pub.
Yeah, I like dive bars. I would just hang out there.
I heard
You put
the
a
owner
little-
sleeps with goats.
Yeah, they put a little extra in their burger.
Oh gosh. Yeah.
I
Definitely
bet
go
that
to
was really
Honey Dates.
awkward later in the in the last book when he became a relevant character.
Mm-hmm.
Like, whoops.
Oh gosh. So true.
Ignore that part, folks. This is really important. Please don't ignore him. Please don't call the police.
Oh gosh. What about Zonkos? Would you guys go to the joke shop at all? Care about any of those jokes and tricks?
That's
They
like
have
the-
some they're like little things that I would probably be entertained by.
It's like the magical equivalent of like going to Spencer's.
I suppose so.
So I never cared to go to that store either. So, I feel like there'd be less, less phallic items at Zonko's though, probably.
Well, it's a student's
Potentially.
joke shop, so I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that really wouldn't interest me. I might go in there once just to see what it's about and then regret it because I'd probably get attacked by something while in there.
Yeah, I figured the whole thing, the whole idea about Hogsmeade is to like get out of the school, get away from like the routine. So the last thing I want to do is like go to all the places where all the same kids are at. That's why I wanted to go to like the dive bar and just hang out and drink all day, not see other students. You know.
Would you sit on the hill or whatever by the Shrieking Shack, just alone listening to the...
I feel like if I drank enough at
Supposed
the
noises.
Hogshead, I would probably end up there. So
Ethan's definitely that kid. Sits alone on the hill by the Shrieking Shack. Oh, yeah.
Oh gosh.
contemplating.
And everybody's like, oh, who is that? Oh, okay, we're gonna go this way now.
He's that Muggle Slytherin.
Oh gosh. Well, okay, so I know we're not too worried about Sirius Black. I think the only other thing that happens in the third year is that he gets into Hogwarts not once, but twice. Breaks in. And that one
that'd be
time,
pretty
everybody
scary.
has to sleep in the Great Hall or whatever.
You know, I gotta sacrifice my bed to sleep on the floor because of this Harry Potter character again. I'm telling you, I'm hating this kid.
You're just blaming on him. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a little scary. Be like, okay. This
I don't
is
know if I'd be
real now.
scared
He's
because I
here.
know that it's like a targeted attack, you know? It's like a drive-by shooting, you know? You just assume it's like targeted. So,
Well, didn't that happen over Christmas? Or maybe that was the second one, right?
Oh.
That was when he actually broke in and attacked Ron.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was over Christmas. The other one, it was like, everybody I think was still there.
Yeah, it was some evening, I think, while they were at dinner, and they came back and the portrait was all slashed up.
Mm-hmm.
I
see,
think
we
that was what it
Slytherins,
was.
we're in like the dungeon. We don't know about all this shit going on the surface. You know, we don't care about all this nonsense. We're
Yes,
basically
they
we're
would
basically in
absolutely
the-
care about that.
We're basically in the sewers. So
Well, the thing is with Sirius Black too, all the stories was that like he like supposedly was like killed a ton of muggles or whatever at once. So I don't know why you wouldn't be concerned that he wouldn't just like plow through everybody just to get to Harry if he was actually after Harry. So I think it would be kind of frightening to be like, no, it's a mass murder on the loose and you really don't want to get in his way.
once I found out that he attacked the Gryffindor common room, I'd be like, yeah, we're good. We're good. We know where he's going.
Oh gosh. Anyway, so I think that's pretty much the highlights of year 3.
Yeah, there's nothing like the end. Everything that happens is pretty I would say uneventful. Like as far as like the whole school goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, most of the stuff's pretty self-contained.
Yeah. So, make it through kind of a normal year, kind of. Just, weird things here and there. Now the 4th year comes. But before we start school, there's the Quidditch World Cup. Ooh. Would you guys want to go to that?
It depends if I had like friends who invited me, honestly.
Same. I would hope to go with friends, yeah.
If not though, no, I wouldn't go.
Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go.
What about you? By yourself.
Probably.
Cool.
I mean, I like the sport, you know? Gotta watch
Yeah.
it at the professional level.
Definitely. Like once
You
in
get
a
to watch
lifetime
that crumb
opportunity.
guy in action.
It's like, you know,
Yeah.
it's like the Super Bowl for Wizards, you know?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Absolutely is.
agree with that. That's for sure. Well, that was fun until the dark mark appeared in the sky. That's cool.
We're all running home real fast.
Yep. Okay, cool. Now we're back at Hogwarts. You know, hoping for another normal year. Oh, wait, what? We're hosting the Tri-Wizard Tournament? Oh, man.
This is
Now we're gonna
actually
have
cool.
others.
You know, like having other schools come to your school the whole time, and it's just like this big tournament of events and games. Like as a bystander who doesn't have any skin in the game, that sounds awesome. So,
Sounds very wild and
Yeah.
deadly. Yeah, definitely like watching an extreme sports, like reality TV
yeah.
thing. Well, of course, okay, so, people get to put their name in the Goblet of Fire. Cool, cool, we can't enter because, we're supposedly too young.
Would you
Okay,
even want
so
to enter
said-
if you could?
I don't know if I would have. Like, the idea initially seems like, oh, that would be kind of cool, but realistically, no, I'd rather watch,
Yeah. No.
get a
No
feel
way.
for
No
everybody
way.
else.
Really. I think I'd do it.
There's no
I'd put
way.
my name in. I'd see what happens. Like, I'd go in with the intent of if I put my name in, my assumption is that I'm going to make it because I need to be prepared to get it if I get it, you know? But like going up against, like I see, we know that Crumb's in there. Like, am I going to beat out Crumb? Probably not. But like, I'd give it a shot. I'd see what would happen.
Knowing
But then
that
like Cedric gets it, so.
knowing that the prize is basically just vanity and glory, like that doesn't appeal to me.
And riches?
Yeah. I don't,
Yeah, we're just...
I don't put
And
stock in
riches?
money either.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, so the goblet, announces everybody. So we have Cedric. Yay! We can support Cedric, think we've all heard of him, probably. We've all watched some Quidditch.
Oh yeah, he's in my.
And I'm sure
he's
you
in my
definitely...
house.
Yeah, Wade. Yep.
Yeah. He would be
You're
like
like,
the
"Yay,
cool
Hufflepuff."
kid, you know,
The cool kid.
the one that everybody looks up to.
Yeah, I could see that, definitely. And he's such a great, Quidditch player. Definitely.
Does Slytherin have
No,
any
play
cool
against
kids?
him.
Or do you just have like bullies and mouth breathers?
They think they're cool.
Well, they think they're cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see, that's the worst. Malfoy would annoy me probably more than Harry Potter.
Well,
I
Malfoy
feel
probably
Yeah.
annoys most people, but they're probably also afraid of him because of his father, so they can't voice it. So they just stay away
I
from
definitely
him.
agree.
And then you got Crab and Goyle, who were like
Mouth breathers,
subhuman.
yes, absolutely. Subhuman, yes.
Oh my gosh, yes. And
Yeah,
then,
this is-
okay,
I would
Yeah.
not interact with my house very often.
you'd be proud to be a Slytherin, but you hate the Slytherins that you
Yeah, I would be proud of the legacy, but the people I'm going to school with, I'd be like, my God, can I get a transfer? I'll go to Durmstrang or whatever, Durmstrang.
I was gonna say you're gonna go to Durmstrang.
I'll go
Well,
there.
it'll probably be exciting, since they're there at the school right now. You get to hang out with, other people. Maybe there's somebody that you actually like
Oh, yeah.
or can, yeah. Well, okay, so Cedric, is our person. Oh wait, Harry Potter just got his name called out.
Yawn. Annoying.
I would be
Kid.
very suspicious, to be honest. I'd be like, what the heck? What happened? Like, that's weird.
Well, because we
Yeah.
all knew the rules, so
Yeah.
the fact
This
that
kid
more
just
people
cannot
weren't like,
escape the
wait,
limelight.
how?
Yeah.
You
I would, yeah. It'd be very sketchy, because I was like, well, he claims he didn't put it in, and I don't know, like,
And there's
I don't know
three
if I would-
schools, and there's only one person per school. It's not decided by people; it's by a magical artifact. So you'd think more people would have been like, "That can't be right," instead of like, "Oh, that prat Harry Potter went and did that thing again." Like, always threw me off. I'm like, what?
I mean,
I know,
think
definitely.
I think that, or I think most of the staff probably knew that it was fraudulent, but like, you know, they wanted to see why. Like,
Yeah.
see kind of how it turns out,
Mhm.
as opposed to
Well, I
just,
mean,
yeah, let's just do a do-over.
Mr. Crouch said like the name came out, so he has to compete
Yeah,
because it's a binding magical contract. He can't not do it. So
yeah.
But I just, yeah, I have
regardless of
always had,
how.
yeah, I always had a problem with it. Like all the other students being like, "Ah, Harry Potter, you cheated the system. You did some like powerful magic," and I'm like, that dude's average. Like he might be good, like at some things, but we've seen his background. Like we've some of us have had classes with him. He's not Hermione, so I really wouldn't jump to the conclusion immediately that he somehow like bewitched this to get
As
him.
as students who have like who aren't in his inner circle and know exactly what's going on. This is like a kid that you went to school with who's like, the teacher's pet that's always like in the limelight somehow, and you never really have context. You just automatically just dislike him. Like that's Harry. And the more things that happen in his favor, you're just like, what? Why is all this shit happening to this kid? What is this?
I'd definitely be asking that part. Yeah, I feel like why? What is going on here?
Yeah, like he would just be infinitely annoying for that reason. Because you never really know, unless you're like friends with him. You never really know what the hell's going on. It's all just surface level and a game of telephone between dozens of students. By the time that information gets down to the Slytherin dungeons, it's just like, oh, no wonder we all hate him.
Oh man.
So,
Yeah. Well, so I guess, you're not going to be cheering for Harry in the Triwizard Tournament, right? Are you just going to be cheering for Cedric, or are you actually going to cheer for both
Cheering
of them?
for Cedric.
I don't know if I would cheer. I think I would just want to just watch. Like, I don't know if I'd have I'd want someone to win. I think I would just like the sport. I think I'd more be interested in the events and less of the attendees.
I would, yeah, I can get that.
It's like
I'm
watching
like
the
honestly,
Olympics.
no.
You know? I like the games more than the people in them.
I can see that. Yeah. I'm just like, why not both? Why can't I cheer for both? Like, that's, it's kind of weird and sketchy in some ways that we have two people competing, but two is better than one. We have more chances of winning, and so why not? I don't want to wish, harm on one of them, so I'll just
Besides
root for
bragging
both of
rights,
them.
does Hogwarts get anything if we win?
I don't think so. I think the school just, gets the bragging rights that they won.
Because if it was like, all the students get like a full letter grade or something, then I would root. I'd start.
Then you'd be like, heck yes, let's do this.
Yeah, I'd be cheering for people.
The champions do. The champions get good scores on their finals. They don't have to take them.
Yeah, but that's just them.
Yeah, that's just them. So.
Isn't that when they
Yeah.
take their newts? 7th year?
Newts? No, I think it's.
Or is that 6th year?
That's 6th year.
Because
Yeah.
Owls is 5th year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When
So
can you
we have
start?
a bit of time.
When can you start trying to be a prefect? I can't remember.
That was 6th year.
Okay.
No, it was 5th year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because it
yeah.
adds to Harry's pissiness. It's like, why didn't
Well.
Dumbledore choose me? Well, because he's not talking to you right now. That's why.
Give me the cold shoulder. Okay. Well, okay, this is our 4th year at Hogwarts, and guess what? We have another new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher. Another.
Do you see what he did to
Yes,
Cedric or to Malfoy? Hilarious.
Oh dang. Yup. Put him
Yeah,
in
we-
his place.
Yeah, we had to hear about that in our common room all night. So,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure his
Oh,
father
man,
will
I
be
mean,
hearing about this.
That's all I ever hear him say. Oh, and then because it's the Triwizard Tournament, there's also the Yule Ball. Let's see. So I'm sure
Everybody
Ethan's
get your
not
dress
going. I'm sure
robes.
that's yep. Dress robes, dresses.
I'd definitely be going with my other Hufflepuffs.
I could see either having a date or going with my friends. Yeah. I would probably, honestly, it's like dances. I always like had fun taking pictures, so I would just take pictures and you know develop the film and try to enchant them because that'd be cool.
You and Colin Creevy gonna be best friends?
Oh gosh, I don't know about that, but maybe
all can start
maybe
a
we'll be in a
club
photography
together.
club together. Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
There you go. And
he'll be
eventually
too
you'll get
obsessed
Dennis
with-
Creevy too. So there you go.
Oh gosh, but they'll be too obsessed with Harry Potter. I'll be like, guys, look at the rest of the world. Look at where we're at. There's very interesting people here too. Yeah, Harry, is kind of cool, but you guys
But
need
Ernie
to-
McMillan, man, Ernie McMillan.
I don't know. If you
I think
think
I'd
so,
want to
sure.
hang out with. I think I'd want to hang out with Mad Eye Moody more.
I don't know, man. That guy seems pretty
Even-
intense.
He seems like a rogue. He's like already going off curriculum like day one, doing like the unforgivable curses and shit. Like, this dude's not a suit.
Nope.
That would be yes. That would be correct.
Very, very accurate.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, okay, so, the Triwizard Tournament, we're at the final task. Things are looking crazy. We can't see what's going on. Okay, that's insane. Harry just came back with Cedric's dead body. Saying Voldemort is back.
Yeah, that'd be pretty messed up.
Obvious lie. Harry killed him.
Gosh. It would be
Think about it.
insane because yeah,
Think about it. Harry's all about, he's always in the limelight. He wants to be. He's famous. He wants to keep that fame. He doesn't want Cedric Diggory to get all this eternal glory and rich, and so he killed him. Wanted to keep himself in the sun. That's how we see it. That's how the Slytherins see it.
I mean, I'm kind of like loose acquaintances with Harry, so I just don't understand that he would not have killed Cedric. No. It's kind of creepy. I don't understand how he came back with his dead body. Like, he's claiming Voldemort's back. Like, what the heck? I mean, I don't know why he would lie about that. It's
He also
just very
claimed his
surreal.
birthmark killed Voldemort, so I don't know. I don't believe this kid.
Well, he didn't claim that.
Yeah, and he didn't know that.
Is everybody else talking about that?
Yeah. He's just like, I'm just a kid. Bad things keep just happening to him, so I don't know. But has to be really upsetting for you, Wade. A fellow
Yeah.
Hufflepuff.
It'd be a dark days in the Hufflepuff common room for a while.
Yeah. Well, I'd be sad too because I'd played Quidditch, with him.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, oh gosh. Okay, so, we'll be attending some type of like get together, and Ethan will not be with us apparently.
Yeah, probably not. I didn't know him.
Oh. Wade, do you think Voldemort's back? Do you think Harry's telling the truth? What's going on with that?
Well, I wouldn't think that Harry would lie about stuff like that. Because I know, just being in class with him and stuff, I know he doesn't like care for attention and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a very confusing situation overall. But I don't think I'd believe that he was crazy or trying to start something and stuff like that.
Yeah, because somebody killed Cedric. There's no way it was Harry. Somebody had to have done it, so just, yeah, weird to believe Voldemort, but I don't know.
I mean, nobody wants to believe that that's the truth anyway. So,
Yeah.
why would we
Well,
start?
I don't know. All that
Exactly.
all the chatter down in the dungeon. They're all pretty ecstatic down there. So I don't know.
Well, year 4 ends, and yeah, Ministry's denying everything. Voldemort's not back. They're just saying, they're all crazy, right? So, get back to school. We get an announcement that we have a new Care of Magical Creatures teacher, Professor Grubbly Plank. Interesting. If we're still taking care of magical creatures, if any of us are. And then, oh, look at that. We also have a new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, Umbridge. Oh no.
A politician.
Yeah. Okay, so Umbridge, she's a bundle of joy.
Yeah.
I hate
Yeah, her
everything
classes
about
aren't
her.
aren't very fun, like at all.
Mm-mm. No, I feel like I'm not learning anything. It's just basic
Reading
nothing.
textbooks and reading textbooks and reading more textbooks.
And she's just kind of creepy. She gives off these weird vibes. And now we
Oh.
have these, like... What?
I would try and steer conversations to cats. I have a cat. I feel like she'd like me.
And then she'll, like, give an evil laugh and be like, now back to this? On, like...
Yeah. But she's always wearing
See?
pink, which is just a awful color. So.
Demented.
Yeah.
Well, and then all of a sudden she's, like, whipping out these decrees, telling us we can't have our clubs anymore, we can't play Quidditch. What the freaking heck? No. Or we have to, like, limit our practices. She doesn't want us to have fun. I'm not sure I'm okay with this. I know, Ethan, you weren't having a whole lot of fun before because you weren't in any clubs, but how do you feel about Umbridge and all of her
Nah, this is just
strict?
It's just government getting involved in education. Yeah.
And you're okay with that?
No, but what am I gonna do? I can't do anything.
Well,
I mean, literally, you can't
Hey,
do
wait.
anything.
no.
You know, you can't leave, like, you basically can't leave your common room outside of classes.
So I don't know if you guys have heard, but you know, I'm friends with Cho Chang because we're on the Quidditch team. She was telling me about this meeting that Harry was setting up or something. I don't know, to meet at Hogsmeade or something.
Yeah, Ernie and Hannah were talking about that too.
Yeah, I might check it out. You know, not really sure what he has to say or what's going on, but you know, it's
Yeah.
better than suffering under Umbridge right now. Have something to look forward to, I guess.
Yeah, I hear Harry wants to do something about it, so let's go check it out.
Yep. Okay, we're gonna go. Yeah, I don't know if the Slytherins heard about that or anything.
No.
Loner Slytherins didn't hear anything. Okay. Well, okay. Harry wants to start this, like, underground thing. Okay, cool. Learning spells and stuff. You know, actually doing practical, like, defense against the dark arts. I'm there for that.
I think us Slytherins are being turned into like glorified hall monitors now. So
Are you joining that?
Yeah.
I mean, get on her good side. She's got the power.
Fair enough.
Yeah. She doesn't deserve the power, though. No. I think I
Most of
might,
them
you
don't.
know... Yeah. You know, I'm, like, worried a little bit, you know, about getting into trouble and everything, but I'm curious to see where Harry's stuff goes. I'll sign up. I'll join.
It was better than Umbridge's class, so.
Yeah. If I'm gonna learn something, you know, I might as well learn something new. Sure, give it a go. So are you in, Wade?
Sure am.
Hi, nice to meet you, Wade. I think this is the first time we've talked to each other. Oh, look at that. We might become friends. Different houses, but we're in Dumbledore's army now.
Bam, maybe we'll fight a war together someday.
Yeah, maybe. Ooh, we get to practice Patronuses? That's cool.
Some pretty advanced magic.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna work on mine. You know.
And Ethan's patrolling the hallways.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, to be fair, if I
You
caught
didn't-
you guys, I would just let you go because I'm essentially using it as an excuse to just roam the corridors and not be cooped up in the common room.
Fair enough.
I'll
I'd be like,
respect that.
Yeah, I'd be like, I don't
I'm sure there were smart Slytherins doing stuff like that too.
Yeah,
Like the ones who like to stay out of stuff.
yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, 100%.
I'll just be like, oh, wow, thanks. Okay, and run away and be like, who is that Slytherin? Huh.
Yeah, you guys would have like that startled. You see me like turn the corner, and I'd be like, nah, you guys are good. Do whatever. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. We're like, are you sure? Okay, let's go.
Yeah. I don't want to know. No, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to know your names. Just keep going.
Oh, man.
This lady's like poisoning people for information. I don't want to know. You know. So.
Yeah. Well, you know, we've been working hard on our Patronuses. I think we would eventually get our Patronuses, though. Wade, what do you say?
Oh yeah. We're practicing tons,
Yeah.
and Harry's a good teacher, so.
Well, and I know my Patronus from Pottermore is the Black Mamba. which is very
That is
interesting.
also mine.
Oh, look
funnily
at that. We're gonna become even better friends now.
It's
We
I
have
was
somehow the
I always
same
thought my
Patronus.
patroness was so weird. Like I'm in Hufflepuff, and yet some terrifying black snake is my patroness.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't really like snakes, but okay, cool. Some giant thing, Okay, cool. We're having fun. Dumbledore's army, practicing magic. Okay, cool. Until it, gets shut down.
Yeah, not by me. Not by me.
You weren't there.
No.
Yeah, I wasn't
No,
there.
didn't think about you because you just saw us in the hallway that one
Yeah.
time, so.
I'm like smoking cigarettes in like the girls' bathroom or something.
With Moaning Myrtle? No.
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
Me and Moaning Myrtle were just like hanging out. Smoking some
man.
spliffs, just shooting the shit.
Yeah. I feel like the rest of the year kind of goes by in a blur until the ministry is kind of like, oh yeah, I guess Voldemort is back.
Yeah, that was just kind of a boom overnight thing for the regular people.
Yep.
And then
Yeah, it's like,
yeah. Here it is.
Yeah, and
It's
it's like-
time.
bam. Oh gosh, it's real. So.
Yeah, it got kind of weird
Now
in the common room. Everyone's showing these like creepy tattoos on their arms, and I tried my best to like stay out of it.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of your
for the
people's
best.
parents are going to jail too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. Like I
Well,
said,
there
trying to
was a
stay-
breakout. There was a big breakout of
Oh yeah.
out of Azkaban in the middle of fifth year. You know that Bellatrix Lestrange.
Oh yeah.
She broke
How could I
out.
Forget about that. Heard
Mhm.
about that. Real gray. Goodness. And
This
then,
Azkaban sounds like a piece of shit. People are escaping almost every year now. What is this? We got Sirius Black escaping. Now there's a breakout. Like, who the hell's running this place?
Well, clearly the ministry is doing a great job.
Oh, yeah. Maybe this Dolores Umbridge should be going running Azkaban.
Or just go to Azkaban.
Put-
that
put
works.
it in
Either or, just
Azkaban,
get out of my
yeah.
school. I mean, I like being a hall monitor and everything, But jeez.
You know, I wonder if she was put in Azkaban after the 7th book.
Did she even survive? That'd be a question.
The last time you see her is just whenever they break into the ministry to steal the Horcrux. You don't see her anymore.
That's true. Yeah, she might have gone to Azkaban.
Let's just say she died.
Azkaban death,
Yeah, either or.
Okay.
These things happen.
Okay, we're getting closer to the end of our time at Hogwarts. Now it's our 6th year, and Voldemort is actually back. Cool, cool, cool. Not sure how this is going to affect us here at Hogwarts. But, this is also a big year for us, because we also have our big exams. And we get to pick our classes, I think, right? Oh, wait, no, we already took the owls, I think, the OWLs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was, okay.
I think I do pretty
So-
good on them. I study hard. I wouldn't really know what to go into after our owls, like what to specifically like look at, because I don't know how I would do on them really at the end of the day, but I'd be excited either way.
Yeah, I feel
Yeah.
like I've done my best.
I'm sure Professor Sprout would help me like find a direction to go in.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely would have
Pretty
done
cool.
done well on the owls. I always did well on tests without studying or anything.
Very nice. Very nice. So I think there's lots of potential for all of us then. So now we get to kind of pick our classes based on our results and, kind of, does anybody have any idea what they want to do after they get out of Hogwarts?
Travel.
Oh, Lord knows, really.
Kind of depends on how this whole Voldemort shit kind of plays out.
Yeah, that's true,
I feel
because
like,
you may
I
not want
feel
to
like my-
travel too much.
Yeah, I feel like my common room's kind of turning into a bunch of like Tiki Torch Whites down there. So,
People,
Gosh.
people disappearing off the streets. Even shopkeepers in Diagon Alley disappearing overnight,
Yeah, it's not looking like a
Yikes.
good place to live in. It's hard to see the future. It's a little bit murky now, because,
Yeah, I'm
It's gonna
starting to feel a
happen.
little uncomfortable in my in my house. Feel like I can only stay in the shadows for so long before they start asking questions about my ancestry and whose side I'm on. That's all they care about down there. That's all they talk about.
maybe you'll spend your time in the library, and maybe we'll see you then. Be like, hey, you're the guy that didn't give us up last year.
Yeah.
You're all
The
right.
How are you
Hogwarts drug
doing?
dealer. No one narcs on me because I got something for everybody.
Oh man, yeah. So our 6 years kind of a mess. Of course, we have new teachers again, or new, professors in different positions. Snape is our defense against the dark arts professor. What? He finally got the job he always wanted. And then we have Slughorn for potions.
Hell yeah.
Oh boy.
So, Chelsea, you think you'd be invited to the Slug Club?
I don't know. I've kind of thought about that. It really could go either way.
Would you even want to be in it?
No,
Yeah,
I don't think I
same.
would.
Like, once you
it's-
realized what it was.
Yeah.
be like, oh, let's get out of here fast.
And you start hearing some of the names of the people in there, you'd be like, nah, not for me.
Yeah, just all of him in general. He kind of gives off some creepy vibes too, and just like obsessed with students. Like, I want to add you to my collection.
When you
Like,
put
I
it
really
that
feel
way.
like that's what it be.
Yeah, out of all
Show
the
you
teachers,
off to
he's the
everybody.
one. Out of all the different dark arts teachers we've had, now this guy, like, this dude seems like a serial killer.
And then here's a potion I'm making for you so you can have good luck. It's like, okay. Getting creepy. Yeah. Now Snape, though, for defense against the dark arts.
Hell yeah.
Oh, dang.
Finally, Slytherin's gonna get some points around here.
I would be frightened, but intrigued.
I think Snape would probably be my favorite teacher at Hogwarts. Not just because I'm a Slytherin, but just because,
His
like,
vibe.
I would respect him.
Because of his no-nonsense approach.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
nonsense. The dude seems highly intelligent, knows what he's doing. Like, yeah, that'd be
Yep.
that'd be a teacher I'd like. I'd try and latch onto. Especially also being highly interested in potions, like that'd be cool. And now dark arts. It's like the best of both worlds.
That's true. Oh, there's actually, I forgot to mention, in our 6th year, we have the option to learn how to apparate. For a fee of 12 galleons, you get to take the class. Side gig. I would
I'd
be
be
into
ready
that.
for that. Oh, yeah.
Heck yes. Gotta learn something else, and seems very practical to know how to do.
I feel like I definitely want to learn, and then doing it once, knowing how I have like a weak stomach, I would probably never want to do it again. I'd be like, nah, I'll fly. I'll take a
Some
board
people
key,
prefer
fuck
to do
this.
so.
Yeah.
Not everybody
even- I
operates.
Yeah, I can't do roller coasters. I can't even drive over a hill too fast without getting a little nauseous. Apparating sounds like the worst possible mode of transportation.
Sounds very convenient, but very nerve-wracking after you hear all the stories about, people, losing their limbs or something, not, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm
Oh,
definitely
we're
not-
wizards,
not-
though. We just wave our wands and fix it. It's fine.
Doesn't mean it can't be nerve-wracking. I mean, I would still be very excited about it, but it would definitely be.
It'd be one of those things that, like, I would want to do once, and then, nah. I just don't think I would have the wherewithal to keep doing it.
You get the license and just be like, for emergency purposes only.
Yeah.
Where is my broom?
Yeah. So there's some fun things going on, but then have you heard weird things have been happening? Like, wasn't it that girl Katie Bell or whatever at Hogsmeade almost died or something?
Oh, she got cursed, didn't she?
Yeah. And then I think somebody else was in the hospital for something weird happening. I'm not sure what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, did
Malfoy's
Ron
been
get
talking about trying
poisoned?
to kill Dumbledore in the common room. He's a fucking idiot. Not gonna happen.
Guys, did you just hear? Oh no. Dumbledore is dead.
I would
Wasn't
ask
he
Malfoy,
like the last
dude,
line of defense against Voldemort?
Yeah, we're doomed. Like, I don't know how Dumbledore died. Like, that's insane. I can't believe it.
Oh, did you hear that Snape killed him?
What? No. Oh gosh. What?
Power
He was
play.
our teacher.
Power play.
I mean, yeah, he
Dude's
did always
leading
want
the
that
coup.
Defense Against the Dark Arts job. I guess he took it too far. Just wanting more power, but that's messed up. He's taught us all these years, you know.
I mean, he's always seemed like kind of a Death Eater to me.
Yeah, but gosh, but how did he kill Dumbledore? This can't be real. I don't know how we're gonna be able to go back to Hogwarts next year. I don't know. I don't know what's
I'm going
happening.
for sure. My favorite teacher's now in charge of this place. Shit. Finally, this is what I want.
Like, legit, year 7, like, I don't know if my parents would even be okay with me going to Hogwarts. Like, I know it's, like, kind of required, but I'd be like,
Yeah, most of the kids didn't have an option because they made a law that said they had to. So if you didn't want to
Yeah.
go to school, you had to go into hiding. But then if you go into hiding, the second you're caught, you're basically dead.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and actually, Ethan and I would be in a ton of danger either way.
Yeah. I
With
feel
all
like I'd have to
the
get
blood
like
purity stuff that the
Yeah.
Death
Now,
Eaters are going on.
Ethan being in Slytherin, he could just half-ass a lie, you know,
Yeah, I'd have, like,
and
fake
people would
IDs,
just be
like-
like, "Oh, you're in Slytherin. That's for sure true." Me, on the other hand, in Hufflepuff of all places,
Oh gosh.
no way.
Yeah.
Because you know everybody would know that I was Muggle-born.
Mm-hmm.
Because Hufflepuffs don't care, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I bet life was particularly difficult for all Hufflepuffs during that time. Just in general, because I'm sure there's tons of like assumptions and stuff made the whole time.
Yeah. I feel like Hufflepuffs have really had it bad. You've lost a lot of people and just, yeah, had a lot of crap thrown at you.
Mm-hmm.
weak
But we've
house, we
got
should get rid
Death
of it.
Eaters teaching the kids, a Death Eater running the place. No magical
Well-
protection at all.
Well, but, isn't Neville starting up the Dumbledore's army again? So there might be a little bit of hope.
Mm-hmm. And some
Like
kids,
your-
some kids have gotten in so much trouble that they've had to stay hidden in the room of requirement the whole time too,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
because
Is that
Death
where
Eaters
you
have
would
come
be a
for
lot
their
of the time?
families and stuff. That might end up where I'd be,
Mm-hmm.
just out of
Yeah, I feel
necessity.
like-
Yeah.
You're
Wow.
right. I'm like, yeah, it's like my parents probably wouldn't want me to go to school, but I'm like, yeah, I'm required to go, and I don't want to put anybody else in danger. But then, yeah, it'd be madness. I think we'd all eventually just, yeah, be in the room of requirement after this. Be insane.
I don't know.
It's
I
like-
feel like you guys are looking at this the wrong way. I feel like this school is finally being run right.
No, it kind of feels like the end of the world. Like, how are
a kid misbehaves and their parents are taken out in the street and wizard shot. I don't know about that.
No. But hey, Wade, have you been listening to that Potter Watch?
Oh,
What's
Potter
going on with Harry
Watch.
Potter? Yeah.
It's on constantly in the room of requirement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I try to listen to it when I can. It's just something's happening. I hope. I guess is Harry our only hope at this point? Like, what the heck?
Wherever he is.
Yeah. Hopefully he's doing something good. Yeah.
You'd think he'd
And
be
then-
out here fighting with us, though,
Yeah.
wherever he's at.
I don't know. Yeah. Well, I guess we just have to stick together. I guess whatever Ethan's doing, I don't know. Good luck to him.
I feel like this is just another school year for us. It's just kind of the same shit.
Gosh.
Kind of.
Not much,
In a
not
way.
much has changed. I feel like I'd be, kind of the equivalent of like a conscientious objector at this point to the whole war thing. I just kind of whoever wins, I just be with them, you know.
Well, you know,
Well, you're
Slughorn
gonna-
is running your house.
Yeah. Which, jeez. I feel like. Yeah. That would be, yeah.
Well,
Dude's
you're
okay.
gonna have to pick sides now. This is like the Battle of Hogwarts. It's happening. Voldemort's here. Harry's here. What the heck is gonna happen?
I'm pretty sure.
I think we're all gonna
I'm pretty
die.
sure I got locked in a dungeon during this with all the other Slytherins. So we're just hanging out in the basement, you know. I'm passing around joints to all the other Slytherins. There's a bunch of ruckus going on above us.
I guess we have no choice but to fight. Gosh.
Well, you know, Harry and Neville are out there fighting their best. Ginny's
Yeah.
out there.
We'll do what we can. I mean, what can we do? This is like our last battle. We'll see if we survive, but we have to do something.
Yeah, sounds like you guys got dealt a bad hand there.
You know, but at least we're on the good side. So I know I'm on the good side fighting for something. So
Good's just a state of mind.
no, this is legit good. No, this is clearly defined good and evil. I think I would survive. I hope I would. I don't know.
Same. There's been enough.
hard.
There's been enough Hufflepuff tragedy. I hope. I hope I
No,
wouldn't
you should
die.
survive. I might get injured. I think injured is probably likely to happen, but
Mm-hmm.
I would survive, but I feel like Slytherins would be kind of chastised after this. I'd probably just leave school anyways.
yeah. Well, I mean, especially if you join the Death Eaters, then you would be.
Oh no,
You'd be, like,
I said,
locked in
I'm just,
Azkaban,
I'll be
yeah.
hanging out in the dungeons, you know, just
Yeah.
you know.
Well, maybe you'd be the one to help set things right, so that like Slytherins aren't seen in such a bad light. That not all Slytherins are bad, but you did just become like a bystander. So
Yeah. I don't care about that
Well,
image.
But either way, I mean, we're not
Well-
coming back to school, so we did our
No,
seventh year.
I don't. Yeah, we made it. We're done. That was a whirlwind. I don't know. I feel like a lot
Weirdest
of kids,
graduation
if they
ever.
survived,
Half
would
the
be
school was
scarred
destroyed.
for life. Yeah. That is so much to go through as children.
Seriously.
I feel like well, I don't know. I feel like I didn't really go through that much.
Well, for some Hogwarts students, that, it's definitely a lot. It's very interesting. It'd be crazy to be a part of. I don't know, but
I feel like a lot
Maybe
of
someday
Slytherin-
we'll get like a Midnight Sun treatment of the Harry Potter series. And we'll get one of the unnamed kids in Harry's grade.
ooh,
And we'll get to like
Yes.
go through the books.
They should
I
do
mean,
it
that'd
from
be pretty
Slytherin's point
cool,
of view,
honestly.
because it'd be the only house that would actually have a completely different perspective on things.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like all the other three are pretty much just. I mean, you guys are all basically the same house.
No.
Well, I feel like anything
no,
but
Ravenclaw's
Gryffindor
actually
would make sense.
usually more Slytherin than anybody else.
I'm
And
just saying
Hufflepuff
from, like,
is everybody.
I'm saying contextually speaking, like. I feel like Slytherins would have a completely different point of view of these
Well,
happenings.
but most of the Slytherin's parents are also working for Voldemort,
yeah, that's what
so
I'm
they're
saying.
raised a little different. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like just a casual, non-Malfoy Slytherin.
I feel like just non-Gryffindor would be fine to pick, but I mean,
Yeah.
Well, you can play as your Slytherin, I can play as a Ravenclaw, and we could be a Hufflepuff. It works out.
I feel like the other houses all kind of just end up on the same path at some point.
I mean, there's some bad eggs. Look at Lockhart. Look where he ended
Yeah,
up.
he's more just a dope.
I mean, he's not really a dope.
He's an
quite
evil
smart.
mastermind. Yeah.
He's just a
It was
bad
pretty messed up
person.
what he did. Yeah.
I wonder
I
if
don't
there's
know, I
been any
think-
bad Hufflepuffs.
I don't think it ever crossed their mind to be bad.
I don't know. I think if you replace bad with other words like, well, selfish, I don't see a Hufflepuff really being selfish. That's kind of like one of the
Opposite,
huge traits of Hufflepuffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to dive into that later. Because
Oh.
even Gryffindors, there's been bad Gryffindors.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I mean, I'm sure there's, yeah. Probably. It's probably just not a very well-known Hufflepuff or something. Or maybe
Oh.
they're just secretly the best, maybe. Maybe I
The
shouldn't say
best
that. Maybe I
Hufflepuff.
should. No. The sweetest.
Well, they got away with it without anybody knowing. That's what makes them the best.
Oh, gosh. True.
Because
true.
Gryffindor and Slytherin, if it was them, they'd want people to know it was them. You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Slytherins were just always the patsies. We get blamed for everything.
Well,
Do you,
half
though?
the time it's not wrong, so... If you do get blamed, yeah.
Slytherins are
Well-
usually like the gaslighters. Like they do something like horrible to somebody, and they'd be like, "Oh, professor, that person did this." You know, like they would totally blame it on other people, or that they deserved it,
Yeah.
or something like that.
Well, do you think that'll do it for this episode? We definitely covered a lot. Quite a lot, you know, craziness. If we were attending Hogwarts at the same time as Harry Potter.
It'd definitely be a wild
I
ride,
hope- Yeah, definitely.
especially those last few years.
It would be unforgettable, and I would be very thankful that I made it through all that madness.
Right?
Well, this is probably like the middle of our month of Harry Potter episodes. So, thanks for listening, and if you like this episode, please be sure to give us, or write us a review, or give us 5 stars if you like. Make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at PodDemastered. We're, posting, random content, fun content related to Harry Potter stuff all month long. Check it out. We've had people, share their experiences with Harry Potter. It's fun to read everybody's stories, so be sure to, leave us a comment there. You can also, if you don't feel like putting on social media, you can send us an email at demasteredpodcast@gmail.com. And thanks again for listening, and we hope you tune in next week.
See ya.